Yes, my beautiful people, it's Creamslice. Welcome back to the channel. How is Lightfall serving you all? I just finished the campaign and man, that last boss at the end was an absolute nightmare. Them new monsters that they've got in it, you know, with the big scythes doing a sonic boom everywhere, just absolutely annihilate you. So and now we have motion kills from the monsters. Monsters are doing finishers on us in Lightfall, guys. Monsters are doing finishers on us. Don't get close to them. But nonetheless, the build that we're using today, we are going to be using strand for our first warlock build. And although I know it doesn't have a lot of fragments, but I wanted to paint you guys a picture of the build that I had in my head. It's featuring one of my favorite exotics of all time, the felwinter's helm. And I just believe that the way we have it currently set up at the moment is just absolutely phenomenal. We're going to be doing finishers, we're going to be getting overshield, we're going to be getting melee kills, it's going to be debuffing everything. And with the new grapple that we have as well, there is in motion melee that you can do that also procs felwinter's helm, the warlord's end, the debuff. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but it is absolutely just OP and it's really good. And when I was using strand in the campaign, it worked wonders. We're just absolutely just destroying ads everywhere. We're debuffing everything. So yeah, I know there's not a lot of fragments at the moment, but when the fragments come available next week, we'll build on top of that. So yeah, let's get going. So at the subs class screen here, we have Needle Storm. This feels like an amazing super. I mean, we just pretty much melted the boss instantly with this. I don't know if you hold it, it makes it more powerful. I'm not too sure. I'll have to do some testing, but it kind of feels like if you hold your super buttons, it makes it even more powerful. I don't know if that's true, but you know, go check it out. We're going to be using the arcane needle. This is a really cool melee. If you have 3 stacks of it, you press it all 3 times and it does some nice kung fu throwing knife thing, and then you can just debuff your enemies from there. And like I said, with a grapple based around using your melee, powered melees to suppress enemies. But the great thing about the grapple with the melee after it doesn't need to be a powered melee, and I don't know why, but it still suppresses enemies. So there we have 2 ways of suppressing, and our third way is going to be using a finisher. So all you'll do with this is when you've got your grenade full, you'll hold L1, you'll grapple towards your enemies, and then you will slap that melee button and it will just do a slam attack, and it suppresses enemies with a felwinter cell. The aspects that we've got is Waver's Call, Cash a Rift, and it sends 3 Threadlings out. Threadlings feel absolutely amazing, by the way. I know, like, they can hunt everything down. It's mad. They can jump in the air and everything. So you throw your rift down, it sends 3 Threadlings out, and if they don't get anybody, I think they refund you. And then when you cash your rift again, you can send out more. But it is definitely really powerful. And with this build, one of the fragments built into this just amazingly. We can have infinity threadlings with the fragment we're using. And then we've got mind spawn in invocations. You grapple melee spawns 3 threadling eggs. So as we look at the fragments, I've only got 2 open at the moment. They are so important to this build. So the first one, the Thread of Finality, this is the most important one. Finishers, final blows create threadlings. So with this, like with a felwinter's helm, you are going to be doing finishers, and I'm going to make it safe for you guys. We're going to be getting overshields. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be finishing our enemies, and it's going to send a threadling out to attack our enemies. So what any of our strand abilities do, they will turn our enemies into a tangle. I think that's what it is, that little ball that you can pick up. And basically what you'll do with that ball, then you'll pick it up and you'll throw it at your enemies, and this will refund us some melee energy back with Thread of Fury. So the other mod that I wanted to use when they come available, Thread of Evolution. Threadlings travel farther and deal additional damage. I think this will absolutely be potent with this build, especially with us finishing every time we're doing a finisher, sending threadlings out. That's going to be OP as hell. Okay, so here we are, guys. This is pretty much going to be your screenshot, guys, because it has everything here. I think this cool mod customization screen is going to really help people who are trying to put these builds together. I could screenshot it in the next build if you want, show you my mod placement, but it's kind of good here because we can kind of go through what I'm running exactly, and you can just pretty much slot it in yourselves. So on the headpiece there, we have kinetic siphon, so we're going to create orbs of power with our kinetic weapons, and then through melee kills we're going to get more super energy through hands on. We have double grenade kickstart on the arms there, and we have heavy-handed, your powered melee final blows create orbs of power. With Lightfall, it's all about creating orbs of power to take advantage of the mods. And then on the chest piece we have charged up, so now when we pick up an orb of power we can have more armor charges. Armor charges are like charge with light, that's all it is, guys. And then on the boots we've got stacks on stacks, so when we pick up an orb of power we will get 2 stacks, hold maybe 4 at one time, which is quite good. And then we've got innovation, reduces grenade cooldown when we pick up an orb of power, and we have invigoration, reduces our melee cooldown each time we pick up an orb of power. And the way I went with this build, revolving around our finisher and getting our abilities back faster. So distribution, when we use our rift, it's going to give us ability energy to our melee and our grenades. For the finishing side of stuff, we have bulwark finisher. Every time we finish an enemy we're going to get an armor charge with this, and then it will, you know, we can just keep spamming the armor, we can just keep spamming our finisher, sending fedlings out, getting armor charges, and then every time we finish an enemy we have bulwark finisher. So this will consume 3 stacks of armor charges, but in return it will give you an overshield. So we can pretty much just spam these 2. Every time you use your finisher, it's going to expend all your armor charges. Then when we don't have an armor charge and we use our finisher, we're going to get charged with armor charge through that. So this is all about spamming our finishers and our grenades safely. And what we was using, just in case we fall short of our abilities, we're using the Traveler's Chosen. So each stack of Gathering Light improves this weapon's reload, handling and target acquisition. But as we know, when you hold it, it's going to give you tons of ability energy back. And then not only that, when you use your grenade or your melee, you know, our grappling melee, should I say, with this build, you're going to get osmosis. So now the Traveler's Chosen turns into a strand weapon. So this is the ability spam build as well. We're going to have infinity melees, infinity grapples, suppressing everything. You know the one. Don't come to mess about with these builds. So yeah, I'm creamslice. Peace.